All right, Shalom. This is Hara Banyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, and Shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the Akim here at Lions Den as well. All right. So let's get into this edification for today. And the topic of this lesson or this epistle, is rooted in the vine, planted by the river. All right, that was on my spirit this morning as I was sleeping. Being rooted in the vine and planted by the river. All right, and this is an important statement because that's what the hopeful elect represent. The process of watching a tree be rooted, and the growth of it, and to see it spread out its branches, and then to watch it bear its fruit, and you'll see what type of tree it is. All right, and in the midst of storms, in the midst of adversity, in the midst of all kind of different situations, right? You'll see that these certain branches can still bear fruit from the vine. All right. So let's get into it. Dealing with this topic. Let me go back to this first screen. Add this to it. All right. And the scripture that's on my mind is John 15:1. All right. So I'm gonna get into it. Put some. Put that in the background. All right. Here we go. Let's go to John 15:1. Share this tab. John 15:1. Is it John 15:1? Yeah, that's what I want. All right, this is John 15:1. And yeah, this is the one right there. Yeah, 15:1. I'm gonna turn the music down again, so lucky. So let's go to John 15:1. And it says here, I am the true vine. All right. And it's talking about who? Yahushai. So Yahushai is the true vine. Now you have other vineyards, you have other trees, right? But the true vine, where we get our life source from, is from Yahushai and none other. All right. So you have branches that are broken off. You have trees that are grown as wild grapes, right? You have trees that are grown in different regions of the world. But Yahushua is that original tree that was planted and grew into a great vine, and that vine grew branches and it brought forth fruit 2,000 years ago. And those spiritual seeds from those fruits that landed on the ground have grown into us today, right? We represent those branches. How can I say it? Well, extensions of that first tree and that first vine. All right, we are those branches, and we're supposed to bear fruit. All right. So now I want to get into it. So I am the vine. So Yahushua is that original vine. So if you see a tree, let's go here. Let me get Image of a tree, right? All right, this is a vine. So the vine would be right here in the middle. You see that? Just like your cerebral cortex that goes straight down your body from your skull down through your spine. It sends signals out to your arms, to your legs, just like a body. See? Same thing with this truth. We are a body. And the life source that extends to all the ligaments and all the limbs is the soul, the spirit. And that spirit today we know is Yahweh Shai. All right. He's the life source of us all, you know, especially the elect. So now, but some others have their vine of other trees, which are um, have no roots, which are wild trees, poisonous trees, right? Um, not grapes at all. So, all right. So, maybe I'll be able to go into the difference between the grape and the wild grape as well. All right. So we'll see where the spirit take us. But yeah, the vine that represents Yahweh Shai, and we are those branches that begin to extend out into little vines. All right, and those vines are supposed to what bear the fruit of the spirit, which is what represents the grapes. All right. So let me just read it from here and leave that picture up. Let's go to John 15:1. I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. So he's the vine dresser. So Yahweh is the one that prunes us, trims the branches off, breaks the branches off, so it can grow another in its place, or the tree can grow adequately the proper way the Lord prunes it to be, kind of like a bonsai tree, right? And but people they prune trees to help it to grow and flourish even more. All right, for it to thrive. And the Most High gives the increase. It says one man plants, another man waters, but it's Yahweh that gives the increase, like the sun shines onto the plants, onto the earth, helping the herbs to grow. That's Yahweh, in that sense. So same way Yahweh shines his light down and increases our growth. All right. John 15:1, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman, the vine dresser. Each branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. See that? So if you got a branch, imagine just like you do in the hospitals, you got a limb that's got a cancer in it, they're going to what, cut it off, right? Or if you got a tree where that vine, the source from the vine is connected to the roots, and the substance of that water and those nutrients are they're flowing through the vine, pure vine, but it's not reaching certain branches, then that branch is not going to bear fruit. All right. So every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And that's where you get these wayward camps, or Jacob fall away back into the world. Next thing you know, you'll see him holding guns. You'll see him with people's wives. You'll see him fall back into the world in some kind of way, into Christianity, into some type of covering of this world. All right, walking naked. They'll be walking in their shame, so they'll try to find some type of covering, just like Adam did. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth. See that? So he's going to cultivate it, and he cultivates us. Um, like you said, gold is tried in the furnace of adversity. So certain adversities, certain temptations, right? He says you're going to have your senses exercised, so you'll be able to discern good and evil. And that's the path of growth. That's the path of what fruit we're going to bear. Is it good poisonous fruit, or is it good sweet and righteous fruit? All right. So you're going to be purged. You're going to be chastised in the spirit. You're going to have tests. It's the Lord shaping you and molding you into the character He aims for you to be in these last days, and to be able to bear fruit in different diverse temptations, and to show the fruit of the spirit. All right. It says, what He purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. All right. So let's see what that fruit. I ain't done with this verse, but I'm gonna see what the. Actually, I'll read it in a minute. So what's that fruit? The fruit is this truth. Let me just get it real quick. Let's go here. Let's go to Galatians 5:22. All right, Galatians 5:22. It says here, uh, Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. All right, love is the laws, keeping the laws to the best of our ability. Right. So, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. All right. I think fruit is a parya, which goes into fruit of the Spirit. Racha. All right, is love, joy. Joy of what? Salvation. Joy in keeping the Lord's words. Joy in the hope of eternal life. Joy in Yahushua. Peace. All right, peace meaning turning back to the Father. All right, and faith. Long suffering. Right, long suffering is bearing our cross and persecution, afflictions. Right, gentleness meaning what? Being meek or gentle, teaching the people, not being violent in this world. All right, or being wicked. That's gentleness. Goodness and faith, man. See that faith. So these are the fruits of the spirit, man. Goodness, teaching pure good doctrine, no lies. Meekness, all right, not trying to be exalted in pride, but having a meek spirit. Temperance, all right, not quick tempered or overbearing, trying to be lords over acting to be lords over the Most High's people, right? Like the wicked Sadducees and Pharisees were doing. Against such there is no law. So if you bear the spirit of love, which the love is the keeping of the commandments, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. And they that are Yahweh have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. All right, and that's where we're at, to cut off the flesh. Right, that's what it means to crucify it. All right, and if we live in the spirit, let us walk in the spirit. You know, so it becomes your lifestyle. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. So what's the fruit of the spirit? And that's these things, man. The same spirit of Yahushua that should dwell within us. All right, that's the life source. If the branch is not connected to the vine correctly, it's like a finger losing circulation. You know what I mean? So let's go here real quick to John 15 again. Now it says John 15:2, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. So that's, he said, judgment shall begin at his house. So how many, you can look, man, so been so many false teachers, false camps, false leaders, you know, um, that have fallen away. He said they went out from us, but they continued not with us because they were not of us. So they were not connected to the vine correctly. All right. And that's why they couldn't bear the fruit of the spirit. And the fruit of the spirit is is uh is supposed to be in place, just like grapes are set for to make wine for the master's use. He can use the grapes to produce wine, and the leaves of it can be for the healing of our people. But if there's no fruit to bear, then that branch is to be broken off and is useless and used for firewood. So every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. See that? That's what Yahweh does. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that it may bring forth more fruit, man. Just like hitting a pinata. Uh, if you hit a lemon, if you squeeze a lemon, that damn lemon juice gonna come out, not orange juice. So if you purge this tree, then it should produce more fruit. All right, more of these that list I read earlier, the fruit of the spirit. So in every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, so stay connected to the vine, and I in you. All right, so that vine is going to be connected to you as well. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, man. Only one that can do that is Aaron's rod that budded. The Lord told him take a branch, and a leaf still grew out of it, even though it wasn't connected to any vine. Why? Because that was the original. That was representative of the new vine representing Yahweh Shai. All right, he's the only branch um, that's not connected to a vine that could bear a leaf, a life to it. All right, so that represents, even though we fell away through Yahweh Shai, we have life. All right, even though we were cut off. But now, if you cut off from the vine, Yahweh Shai, oh yeah, uh, you'll be able to bear no fruit. All right, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. It got to be connected to the vine. Let's go back to this picture for example. See that? This is the vine. Of course, the word vineyard represents vine, or like for grapes, but the vine of a plant or a tree is the life source of that tree, of those branches. And you see the results of the apple, you see the results of the grapes or the olives, which represent fruit, paria. Um, then that result, the outcome of it, started originally from the beautiful vine, the life source, and then connected to the roots. And our roots go back to the promises, all the way back to Abraham, all up until Yahweh Shai. That's our roots. All right. So let's go here. John again. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, right? Let me see, I can see it. So like I can't even have a picture up there. So as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. So we cannot bear life unless we abide in the vine that is the source of life. All right, let's get that real quick. So without the source of life, we become what? Lifeless. So let's get John 1 and 4. This is John 1 and 4. And it says here, so I can go there. John 1 and 4. It says 1 and 3, all things were made by him, talking about Yahweh Shai, and without him was not anything made that was made. So that means really nobody has a choice. It's like somebody cornering the market. You know, if I'm selling a product and nobody wants my product, I really own all these damn products. I bought them up ahead of time. I created them, but they're being sold out through different sources. But my source, that's straight from me, if you don't buy that and you go buy somebody else's, I still own that. So that's how the Lord look at it. He controls this whole world, left hand and the right hand. You know, so there is no free will or free choice. You will go to your designated allotment at the end of the day. So all things were made by him, and without him was nothing made, yo. In him was life. Ooh, so in him, in the vine is the life source. All right. So in the vine, this is where the source of life come from. Where does the source of life come from? The spirit. And the spirit is connected to what is the foundation of the roots. And that vine is what we extend from, being the branches. And we bear fruit. And the fruit is the fruit of the spirit. Useful for the master's use to give to the elect and to carry into the kingdom. All right, saving the best wine for last. Now, except that abide in the vine, no more can ye except ye abide in me. All right, so as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me, right? Because he's the life. He's the life source. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. The Lord saying, hey, we're going to be a team. You know, he'll come in and sup with you. He'll be connected to you and always supply you with that life-giving force and source, you know, their water and everything we need in the spirit is sent from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. All right. That's that source of life, that water. Matter of fact, Con, let's get that real quick. John 14 and 6. This is John 14. Let me go there real quick. John 14 and 6. It says, John 14 and 6. Thus saith, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth. Just like there's many ways on earth, but many doors, many roads to travel down, but it's only one that leads to the kingdom, right, to salvation. Others lead to doom and destruction. All right. So Yahweh Shai said, I am the way, the truth, and what? The life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So he's the way, the truth, and the life. All right. So now if we go back, John 1 and 4, it says here, John 1 and 4, in him was life. See, and it's within him. So he's the true vine, like the root, from the root to the vine. And the life was the light of men. All right. So that's what gives us the light or life within us from Yahweh Shai. All right. Um, so that light that's within us, that's that life source. John 1 and 9. Um, that was, let me read this. John 1 and 8. Just the same thing over again, because When John said that he was not the light, he's saying that he's a branch. He's not divine. All right. He was not that light, see, John the Baptist, but was sent to bear witness of that light. See, that's what we are. We're seeing that fruit and you cultivate it and you taste the fruit and it's sweet. That lets you know that the vine and the roots are good. There's a witness to it. All right. But it's evidence, the faith. Um, it's evidence that water is flowing through that tree. You can taste it in its fruit. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. See? So we are not divine. We are not the vine, but we are the branches of the true vine. All right. We bear witness of what's happening within us. All right. So now, so let's go back. Um, so that's the life source, right? Go here. So John 15:4, abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. See that? So without the vine, the true source, the branches have no circulation, no conduit. They're ultimately damned. The connection is cut off. Circulation, and they won't be able to bear fruit. All right. Now, and then it can also grow wild grapes, which are bitter to the taste or even sometimes poisonous. Um, so you want that sweet grape where you can produce wine. All right. Verse 5, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So without the vine, the branch can do nothing. If a man, you be like, so if you're walking up the street and you see a grape branch on the ground, you won't expect that branch. You can't plant that branch in the ground and grow grapes. You need the roots, you need the vine, and that can grow. That's what Yahweh did. He took the vine and planted it in the earth. Yahweh Shai. And if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. So ultimately they'll wither away, meaning they'll lose all that they learned. The Lord will take that spirit away from them, especially when they go back into the world, man, turn away. The Lord said they were not fit for the kingdom, for the master's use. All right. They're gonna be like them little burnt skinny trees that they got up in there in Philadelphia on the concrete, trying to grow trees out of concrete. Them Jones have never had no damn fruit. It was dry as hell all year. But you get down to Florida, oh, all right, you see fruitful trees everywhere. So now, and it's withered, man, to wither away. And men gather them. See, men gather them. So this goes. This is twofold because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. So the left hand side basically will gather them, physically or spiritually, and cast them into the fire. All right. So ultimately, the angels are going to gather them and cast all the wicked into the fire, and they are burned. And if ye abide in me, my words abide in you. See, this he's saying it plainly now. If ye abide in Yahweh Shai, in his covering, in his spirit, his words will abide in us. Ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples. All right. So we represent the vine, all right, by the fruit that we bear in these days, you know. Um, so now let's go to Colossians 2 and 6. It's Colossians 2 and 6. And it says, let's go to 2 and 5. For though I be absent in the flesh, Yahweh Shai is not here anymore in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit. See, that's that spirit, that life source that flows through us in the branches. And the fruit that we bear, when people see that light on you or they hear you speaking, or certain temptations may fall in your way and you um, jump over those hurdles, that's you bearing the spirit, man, in all walks of your life. All right. Yet I am with you in the spirit, joying and beholding your order. So the Lord is like Mr. Miyagi watching over Daniel-san. And he told Daniel-san in Karate Kid Part 2, basically, I see your potential and I have faith in you. That's what Yahweh is saying. I believe in you that you can grow, that you can be greater than what what you started off as. You know, so the Lord sees our potential. And y'all remember that part in the Karate Kid movie when part two, because we all know about the bonsai tree. And you know the bonsai tree is trimmed and chastened and cultivated, right? Let me get that. Right. Let me see something. Let me see. What should I type in? Bonsai tree. Nice. Bonsai tree. Karate Kid 2. Let me see. So the bonsai tree, when it was broken in Karate Kid 2, right? And I remember, there you go. Hopefully I can show it. That's crazy. I remember um, that bonsai tree in the movie. It had a broken. It was broken. All right, that was the whole focus of the movie. That the bonsai tree was broken, and his name Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid, Daniel-san, Daniel Allah, right? Judge of God, deep. Um, he didn't want to be taught by Mr. Miyagi anymore, so he went to another vine, another teaching that started to corrupt his mind, and the fruit that he was bearing was bitter. He started lashing out at people and all that. So this tree right here broke, the old bonsai tree that we know of, that uh, Mr. Miyagi used to trim and cultivate it how he would like it to grow. That's what you do with a bonsai tree. You get a bonsai tree or something you can keep with you the rest of your life, and you can just trim it and prune it. It has to be trimmed and pruned every day, or if not, it'll grow wild. All right. So later on, Mr. Miyagi took Daniel-san, and he said to him, he said, "Look, you are this tree, but look, it's been healed. It's been patched up." He put tape around it, and he said the tree is gonna last. Because he was like, it's still gonna fall apart because it got tape around it. But he was like, no, you are like this tree, because even though it's broken and patched up and healed, it still has strong roots. He said you got to focus on your roots and what's within you, and let that grow and come and produce it and be shown forth. Not what others try to put and tell you. So anyway, so late, I think at the end of the movie, they climbed down a cliff on the side of a mountain, just like America. And they took this bonsai tree and they planted it in the soil, sticking out from the mountain. And he said to Ralph Macchio or Danielson, he said, this tree I put in this place, now it can grow as it wants to. And, meaning now I've given you a choice. But a smart bonsai tree that has been cultivated at its roots and trimmed and pruned for years, long period of time, is going to probably grow in the way it's been trained to. Meaning Mr. Miyagi can come back years later and that tree will probably look the same way he designed it, but it'll probably look different, but he'll still see the original design there. And the wounds from it that it healed up and the roots will still be strong that he cultivated. All right. So we're just like that bonsai tree. Even though we were broken off and be fixed and grafted in to our original vine. Now we just got to show what's within us. All right. So yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Let's go back here. So Colossians 2:5. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit, joying and beholding your order, just like a teacher, a master teacher, man. All right. And the steadfastness of your faith in Yahweh Shai. So the Lord sees our potential, you know. Um, as ye have therefore received Yahweh Shai Mashiach, so walk ye in him. Even though this Paul talking, but the words are really from Yahweh Shai. Rooted, so we gotta be what? Rooted and built up in him. So you gotta have roots, man. And without roots, you can be plucked up by the ravens. Without roots, the leaves can wither and it can lose its fluidity that's within it. That it can dry out and burn, you know. So rooted and built up. So we gotta be built up the correct way with the milk of the word and rooted in Yahweh Shai steadfastly, right? And established in the faith. That's the goal. In the faith. As ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving, being thankful as we move forward, showing gratitude. All right. And we show our gratitude by staying on the right path, staying on the beaten path, meaning following the footsteps that were ahead of us by Yahweh Shai, following those footsteps in the sand. Beware lest any man spoil you through vain philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, lies, false doctrine, these holidays, after the rudiments of the world, you know, again, false doctrine, lies, and the New World Order, MOTB, and not after Yahweh Shai. So you're supposed to follow after Yahweh Shai. We're not supposed to be no damn Muslims either. Because you see a lot of people, a lot of Jake becoming Muslims, man. We're not Africans. Those are vain deceit set by the rudiments of the world, wickedness in high places. All right. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of Yahweh, the Godhead bodily, man. So the whole substance and source and that river that flows from Yahweh flows through Yahweh Shai to us today. Let's get that real quick. All right. Um, and ye are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power, right? Because if we're connected to the head, we become the feet. And that whole body is complete in him. That's what he was trying to show Jacob when he said, no, your name is Yasha Allah. You are a prince that has power with the Most High. and you wrestle with an angel, how can the world wrestle against you and win? So let's read Revelations 22, and I'm gonna try to be brief on this one. Revelation 22 and 1, and he showed me a pure river of water of life. All right, so we just said the water of life that flows through the vine, clear as crystal, meaning pure. That's what the spirit is. Proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh, the Godhead, and out of the Lamb. So the conduit through Yahweh Shai, through the vine. That's where the water flows through. And in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, there was the tree of life. All right. The tree of life represents wisdom, which bare 12 manner of fruits. And that 12 manner of fruits represent the 12 tribes of Israel. And yielded her fruit every month. So the elect are going to be in season, out of season. All right. Yielding sweet fruit in the midst of any season and in the midst of any circumstance. It's still going to bring forth that sweet fruit, sweet grapes, not bitter grapes or wild grapes, poisonous grapes, or just bearing no fruit at all, or bearing rotten fruit. No, it's going to bring forth sweet grapes in the midst of any environment. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. So the elect, wisdom and knowledge and understanding is in place. We're here for you to pluck the fruit from our mind, from each tree, trees of righteousness. So so now imagine that river that's flowing from the Most High and is empty, but then you see all kind of life teeming in it, and animals coming to eat the fruit and drink of the water. It's like a whole family tree now. You see a whole fruitful picture, and that's the end result is for the Lord to bring in all the elect, all right, and create a kingdom. So, all right, where were we? Let's go to um maybe let's go to Psalms 1 and 1. Yeah, Psalms 1 and 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly." Right? You don't want to walk um amongst the ungodly or the unfruitful or the dead or the non-spiritual. That's what ungodly is, to not be spiritual, to be carnal. So blessed is the man that's not walking in the counsel of the carnal minded, nor standeth in the way of sinners. All right. So we're not going in that direction of the sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, nor attacking the scriptures or the truth, man. All right. So you got the seat of sinners that just ignore the truth and they abide in sin. And you don't want to be somebody that's fighting against the truth, neither, as a scorner. Lawatazah. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. That goes into our roots as well. The law, statutes, commandments, that's part of the spirit. It says what? And he shall be like a tree planted by the river of water. And studying that river of water is the scriptures, right? The word. His rod and his staff shall comfort us. So his spirit and his word are here to comfort us. That's the healing of the nations. Comfort is healing. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, man. And we know the tree that's planted by the river gets the most nutrients and the newest nutrients every day, refreshed, glory to glory. You see that? Because that's a moving river. It's not the same water over and over again with toxicity in it. But instead, it's a river that's flowing and bringing nutrients. to the tree. All right. The tree doesn't have to stick out its roots and try to reach to get. No, the Lord gonna bring it right to you. You'll be planted right by the river that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. That's what we just read in Revelation 22. All right. They're there to bear fruit in their season when it's your time to, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of your circumstances in your life, regardless of your family around you, your friends, you're gonna bear that fruit from the pressure of this world, and the Lord gonna bring it out of you at the Yahweh purges you. All right, from wicked ways. His leaf also shall not wither. See, the leaf represents this truth, all right, and wisdom. It's not gonna. He say, "Take not thy Holy Spirit away from me." Those that have, they shall be. They shall have more. There's going to be added to you. But those that have not, it's going to be taken away, even that which they have. So if they're not studying, they're not staying in the truth, staying occupied in prophecy, showing the fruits of the Spirit, they're going to begin to dwindle away. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. All right. And the thing we're doing is bringing moving mountains. Where you say the faith is small as a mustard seed, we can move a mountain and cast it into the sea. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Big difference. You take that tree and you take branches and you break them down dry. They're gonna be like the chaff when the destruction comes. It's gonna blow them away, or they're gonna be blown away with every wind of doctrine. All right, they're gonna be like the chaff when that destruction hits. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand like a strong tree planted by the river with the strongest roots in the day of judgment. Right? He said, when the winds begin to blow and beat upon that house, like a tree house, but house, then that house will stand. But because we built upon a strong foundation upon the rock, Yahushua. But those that have built their house upon sand, it's gonna fall um, when the wind blows. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous man. All right, so to not stand, it says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time. If not, they're going to fall. Nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, so they won't be amongst the elect. That's Amos chapter 9, where he says closing up the breaches so that sinners can't get in. For Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish at the end of the day. All right. So we want to be like trees planted by the rivers of water that flow from Yahweh, as we read in Revelations 22. Getting um the daily substance of the spirit. All right, so let's go back to John. Matter of fact, I'll read that last. Let's go to Matthew's 7 and 15. I'll share this one. This is Matthew 7 and 15. And it's a tree and its fruits, man. All right. So that's the focus. Yahweh Shai is that tree. He's divine. And we represent the branches that supposed to bear the fruit. So we're connected to the roots, the vine, and what started the roots, Yahweh Shai, 2,000 years ago, is supposed to manifest into fruit today from us. That's the evidence. All right. And that the vine still has life in it. He's alive out there in the heavens. The fact that we have this truth today is the proof. Beware of Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, right? You go up to a tree. Um, what is that? You go up to a tree. Here you go. My bad. I want to make sure I had the right one in my head. and you thinking it's a damn sweet grape tree, so you can use it for wine, but it wind up being a wild olive tree or a wild grape tree, which is wild by nature, meaning going off by nature, man. Outside of the laws, outside of the fruit of the spirit, not sweet at all, but bitter. All right, poisonous. Isaiah 5 and 1. Now will I sing unto you, my well beloved, a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. Talking about Yahushua in Israel. My beloved, my well beloved have a vineyard in a very fruitful hill in Israel. And he fenced it, right? And gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, gave us laws, statutes, commandments. All right, Moses set up who was that? King David, Solomon gave us a building. He said what? And built a tower in the midst of it. So he gave us a temple, and also made a wine press, a place for judgment. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments for judgment. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. All right. So the laws, statutes, commandments was supposed to set us to be righteous, but it can't purge the spirit. You know, the sacrifices, doing sacrifices for sin. But Yahushua can purge the spirit, and will bring forth sweet grapes. So not that the law was corrupt, but we were corrupt. All right, had no connection. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. Like, who's right? Who's wrong? Who, did the Lord not keep his word? He did. He kept his word to us. So it shows that we were the ones corrupt, not him. Every man should be known as a liar, not Yahushua. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. All right. So you got to make sure you judge every tree by the fruit that it bears. Um, let's say, where was I? Yeah, I was here. Damn. Let me go ahead. Share this one. But let me see. Yeah, Matthew 7. Let's go to Matthew 7. Let's go to Matthew 7 and 16 again. All right. It says Matthew 7 and 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? You can't get sweet fruit from that. That shows that it's dry and is corrupted. It's a corrupt vine in the midst of it. All right. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? You don't get any good fruit from that. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. See, that's how you know the vine is good, because the fruit is good. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, man. So if the fruit is evil and they going off and they bugging out, that shows you that the vine that they're connected to is off. All right. Like Sakari, IUIC, their doctrine is off. ISUPK, you can go on and on. These Christian churches. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit, man. All right. So you don't want your grapes to be wild grapes or evil fruit or bitter or poisonous fruit that can poison our people instead of healing them. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down, and ultimately what is going to be cast into the fire, firewood. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. That's what I was saying earlier. So you want to judge the life source or the roots of a tree, look at its fruit or taste its fruit. And you'll be able to tell whether that vine is rotten or corrupt. So you go out to these Christians, you meet them, you talk to them, you'll be able to see that they're not right according to the doctrine. You go to a lot of jakes in this world and you talk to them, you'll see that they're not right according to a lot of their ways and their false doctrine and lies and their traditions. All right. So it said it brought forth wild grapes, man. So now, let's get this. Jeremiah 17 and 7. This is Jeremiah 17 and 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh. See, we're going to trust Yahweh. We're going to stay connected in faith to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, to our life source, and whose hope Yahweh is. For he shall what? For he, so right, remaining under that umbrella, remaining connected to that vine, not to any other, not becoming wild grapes or a broken off branch. For he shall be like a tree planted by the waters that spreadeth out her roots by the river. See that? You ain't gonna stretch too far. You're gonna be right by the river, t- and dig your toes right into that water. Dig our roots right into that water, man. Tap right in. And shall not be careful in the year of drought, man. So, I mean, in season and out of season, in affliction and adversity, you're still gonna be teaching, doing the work, and producing the righteous fruit, which is the truth. Still gonna be showing the fruits of the spirit, meekness, righteousness, faith, etc., etc. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So all the way to the end, you're gonna bear fruit. All right, the fruit of the spirit, and bear the truth. The heart is deceitful above all things. So that's the fight right there. That's part of the fight, is with ourselves. The heart is deceitful above all things. It'll lead you astray and deceive you. All right. So that's why without the vine, we're nothing but dead branches. So the heart is deceitful above all things. That's why Paul said that. He said, that which my spirit would do, I do not. But that which I would not do, he don't want to do, he does. So it's a constant battle. But ultimately you're going to bear fruit. And the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, searcheth the heart. I try the reins. And that's why we turn to the Lord to correct ourselves and to guide us. We don't trust ourselves alone. We trust ourselves 0%. But we trust Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to guide us. That his word is a light to our path. Even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing. So what's the fruit? It's your actions and the words you speak. Right. So the fruit according to the fruit of his doings. All right. Um. So if they're teaching lies, they're gonna get destruction or be doomed. All right. So let's go back to John 15 and 1. The point of this whole lesson. It says here, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. He's the vine dresser. Every man in me, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. All right, so keep that circulation going and your connection to Yahweh Shai. Keep that connection there through prayer and even through fasting, through teaching, through studying, through patience, through stopping yourself from temptations and lust. All right. They say every temptation that you conquer, you become that much stronger. So now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, so keep your connection with Yahweh Shai, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, you can't come up with your own doctrine and all that shit, you know, except it abide in the vine. You got to stay in the truth. No more can a ye except ye abide in me. I am the vine. So people that stop acknowledging Yahweh Shai, or they saying Jesus and all that, they're not connected to the vine. Ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So the spirit is gathering us, but destruction and wrath and doom is going to gather 2/3 in these heathens. If ye abide in me, my words abide in you. Ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. All right. And he say, what? No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. But if you're a branch that can be kindled by the flames of judgment, then yeah, it's a wrap, you know. So we don't want to be broken off. We want to be patched up and healed and grafted in to our own tree, our own vine, not to a wild tree that's wild by nature. That's against the laws and goes off, and that's against the true doctrine. No, we follow the true vine, Yahweh Shah. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. All right. So yeah, man, hopefully this was edifying. And he said, I am the true vine. And the topic of this lesson was we gotta be rooted in the vine and planted by the river. All right, let me see. I read it earlier, but I want to think. Colossians 2:7, rooted and built up in him, established in the faith that ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. So be thankful. All right. So hopefully this was edifying. And see y'all on the next one. Before I go, I want to say Kal Halayim, Le Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim, the children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the Akim here at Lions Den. And yo.